sixth in the chord is the most smooth tone of them all. And this is the tone that turns all chords into this beautiful super zen mode. So where do we want to go with this? I actually really often find that the root is a very dull note.
It's boring. You're boring everybody.
And really often I look for other notes to substitute the root with. Further, a lot of the chords, a lot of the arpeggios we play have a very strong tone or strong directional sound. Even the major 7 chord has this strong leading effect in it because of the major 7. The major 7 in a C major 7 is the B to the C. And the B is the strongest natural leading tone we have in the scale. Let's just compare these chords a little bit. The C7 first. You hear that longing sound of that B flat, and when you hear the C6 with the A in it, it's much more smooth. With a line like this, the dominant line going from C7 to F major, you hear that the B flat is leading so much towards this A on the F major. And this is a dissonant sound you do not have on the C6 or the major 6 chords. So what I would really like to do in this video is taking that smooth major 6 sound and turn it into licks and make this happen on both my major chords and my dominant chords. Getting a much more calm and maybe a much more inside sound. So let's make some lines with the smooth, nice and inside sound with the major 6 chord. When you listen to Charlie Parker, you often hear him use the 6 instead of the 7 in his dominant chords. Basically, he would substitute the 7 with the 6, getting a more major and inside, not so leading sound. This line is played over 4 bars of C7 chords, but what I do is weave between the C7 chord with the B flat and the C6 with the A instead of the B flat. And when I'm playing the C6, you hear that I play a much more inside major sound, and I really like this. The inside of the C7 of course comes because I'm avoiding the B flat and adding that A instead of the B flat. The line I just played and used in the earlier example ends on this C and jumps down to the A. So if you end on the C, it's an easy option to just jump down to the A and get this mysterious and very, very nice calming sound. And if you listen to Coltrane, he's using this jump, so from the root to the 6 on his major chords, or his dominant chords for that sake. And I also really like that Coltrane is playing the root on the 1 and the 6 on the one end, which gives a more rhythmic punch to the line. When you start listening to a lot of these players and you notice this 6, you also start to notice the sound of the 6. You notice how a lot of players substitute the root, the 3rd, the 5th and the 7th to the 6 and start to resolve to the 6 instead of all these other beautiful inside notes. So what I would advise all players to do is get used to hearing the 6. Get used to making lines into the 6 instead of the root and these other great target notes on the chords. So start playing a lot of lines moving into the 6 like this one, just playing down the bebop scale, but hitting the 6 as my target note on the C major chord. These two lines are made for you to hear the difference between the 6 and the root here in the first line where I'm resolving to the root, and the second line where I'm resolving to the 3rd. And when you have gotten used to resolving into the 3rd or the root, try to change how your ears hear the lines and resolve into the 6. To learn this, the basic setup is really easy. Play normal jazz lines into the normal target notes. See if you can twist the jazz lines and move them into resolving to the 6. At some point the 6 will become a natural target note for you to resolve to in your tonic chords. In the lesson manual PDF on Patreon, I have of course made tons of these 1-bar lines that all resolve into the tonic on the 6. This is a very easy step to learn to hear the 6 as a target note. Play a lot of these lines resolving into the 6. The PDF is a very easy grab on Patreon. The lesson manual download link is in the description. You might also want to tone down the dominant sound using the 6th instead of the 7th. Coltrane is a great example here on Blue Train. On the B flat 7 in the blues in F, he plays this G and it just sounds amazing, a little bit twisted, but still
nice.
Playing the blues with all its dominant chords, the 6 is a very nice alternative to get a great blues sound and also playing more inside, more calm. In bar 1 in this phrase, you see that the 6 is longing towards that 5, the A to the G. I really dig the major sound the 6 gives me, the calm sound. And playing these dominants with the 6 in it does not have this aggressive, I want to go there dominant sound. When you look at the last bar of this line, you see how strong the C7 is with the B flat in it. The B flat is strongly leading towards that A on the F chord. When you play over dominant chords or play a blues like this with only dominant chords in it, you can play a very smooth sound by only using the 6 and not the 7th. This makes you able to just hang in there and just float around on that 7th chord, but using the 6. Until you play that 7th, that C7, and use that B flat, moving on to the next bar. I also think that Coltrane fell in love with these major 6 scales he's using a lot in his playing. Just because of how neutral and how smooth they are. You can even call it an open sound. The reason for this open sound is that there are no half steps in the scale. All the intervals in the scale are whole steps and they're not leading so strongly towards the next note. And as you see here, and as mentioned earlier, the half steps in the scale, in the major scale, the B to the C, and the half steps from the B flat to the A are strong leading tones, and they create this dominant effect even on the C major chord. And even the slightest half step can add this strong leading effect. Here's the F to the E. So watch out for the half steps. So when you want to get this beautiful sounding 6 into your playing, both on your dominant chords and on your major chords, get the lesson manual PDF on Patreon. In there are lots and lots of short licks to get you to learn the sound of the 6, resolving into the 6 and using the 6 on dominant chords and major chords. Everything is in 12 keys so you can practice in your favorite key, and it's a super easy grab and go. The download link is right here. I just touched down a bit on Coltrane's pentatonic scales, and I can totally understand if this triggered you into wanting to know more about the Coltrane pentatonics, because he is the master. So this video is for you, so much about Coltrane's pentatonic patterns and how you can use them in your own playing. Play music, have fun.